Tata cercando di piccati fuori o senza chiedere ticket conosciuto 다 고쳐 다 가서 돼 고쳐 손 주고요 맞아 그래 맞아 소플라스 맞아 소플라스 다 먼저 주류입니다. 체킹되어 있어. 조금 하지는 하살라. Testli. Ticket. Bas, tushina. Tadik zoom. Stem job zoom. Okay. Tata duida. Testli. Tadu danzo. Tangi robo pagellado something. Now we are heading towards Kot Amlebinda. Taduk Shurda, Tadarin Tayardan today. She can do it. Looks receptionist Pagado. Ça 50. Tina. Testele. Merci. Tadi Tayar, Tari Anzo. Sushi can't do. 알아 로봇냠들 서울대 개삼도 냠다 그래서 다니 소소프 대라 다 그거 수교 서로 당보로도 필름 소소서 때 제 문에 중요가 신경이 댐날로 되고 봐 다들 픽션은 이렇게 도체라 또 대체를 상하 Non pas encore.
Ok. Ah, il n'y a pas la salle.
Salle déjà un ça. Ah oui, waouh.
Excusez-moi, le film commence à 6h.
Comment?
It's okay. Parce qu'on va probablement tester le film une fois avant.
Ah, ok.
Vous voyez ce que je veux dire?
Oui.
Peut-être à 5h30.
5h30.
C'est mieux parce que le monsieur, le technicien, il a envie de tester le film
d'accord.
une fois.
Ouais.
Mais bon, après...
Si on assoit ça
Ils
dérange?
peuvent laisser le sac. Ben, je vais voir avec lui.
D'accord, merci.
C'est juste un peu dommage parce que comme ça... Vous
Ah oui, je comprends. Oui, c'est ça.
C'est un peu la magie.
Ok.
Le réalisateur, Shen Pen Kumsa, il descend.
Désolé, French. Au revoir, France, right? Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? All right. Can I speak in English? Because I obviously don't speak French. Is that okay? And then I'll try and speak in a little bit of Tibetan. Sorry about the little bit of whatever just happened. It is absolutely, wonderful to see so many people here today, and I wanted to thank each and every one of you for being here. I think they mentioned in French that I just arrived a few hours ago, and I've been touring this entire month in US and Canada, and I've been touring back to back. And because I'm a small independent filmmaker, I'm not a big Hollywood filmmaker or a studio-backed filmmaker. My film is not produced by Paramount Pictures or 20th Century Fox or Universal, or Studio Canal, like your French, production. My film is a very small film made with a lot of hard work and a purpose. So, and also because this has never happened in the Tibetan world till now. So I've had to work almost 10 times more than the most hardworking filmmakers. Yeah. Pardon my level of energy right now. Usually I'm a very energetic man and full of life kind of guy, but I'm actually really, really exhausted and I'm sick. I've been dealing with fever and cold, mainly because of exhaustion. Because I not only made the film, I almost did everything in the film, and even publicity, marketing, just everything. And I'm going representing the Tibetan cause and the Tibetan people everywhere because it is of grave concern to me, and I have this utter sense of urgency for our Tibetan cause to keep propelling and to keep moving forward. So I don't want to take a lot of time. I will be here for Q&A after the movie. So please, when the movie's over, stick around. Q&A is very important because this is when you get to ask whatever questions you have, and then I get the opportunity to explain. So yeah, and this is amazing. I'm so sorry. My brain is not working right now. I'm like super tired, but whatever energy I have, I'm getting it from you right now. This energy is coming from you. So thank you so much. I'm gonna say a few words in Tibetan, if that's okay. Ani harsa manzo Paris la denge, the Paris chilo ne lenge le mambuji yore sangi trinkos. Ani manzo pe memang tamalo de la France la denge tamalo la marango ne denge team 4 Rivers 6 Ranges enge production monk in the warrior production. Manzo team gangza substitute keranzala something the touch dele ani kadin che. Longe bola mashida thanda keje shegi me because the tab peje chamali kinse the longe dikhare kechimbure sadra le pheya thapse le pheya medic le pheya gerab le pheya mao ba senza denjula loge ke agi present chile rwa ani kechi shedi ngaranzo soso ki jumda ngaranzo soso ki moadi soso ki sungya chegoya di manzo lenge cheshu dire ta manzo zenjo bola 당구시나 manzo 벽업 바라카마도 요마레 로와 아니 벽불라에 manzo 벽 미망 상마 돕나 manzo 잠블링 셴바지나 manzo 멤버페 춘주로와 레마레 하장 춘주 manzo 사야 족라는 로드 리주스 두고도 로와 다 디에 사야 족에 요메 나하부메 덴데 로와 센서스 요마레 이나야 사야 족 이나야다 뱅유뉴르 manzo population 춘주 마레 manzo 춘주레 백 충마레 춘줄라나 population 춘줄라나 사야 니슈 숨주 된주 춘주 지기요. 로. So saya tukla dugala nganzu mishida yo marata. Ani nganzu kei ngaya da rikshung ngaya da nganzu ki chue sungyap chia da nganzu ki gerap sungyap chia nganzu ki mua sungyap chia chia dorwa. Nganzu tanda ta keranzu tsangma chigel denge nganzu tsangma ki bezun chigel Sunday school la ya da bugula pi labya da tsangma chigel orwa. Ina yang di mutu ne neya ina soso lumba tsu malena jigi marade. 소소 lumbaji tsu lengo re nganzo tak di lenda di nganzo tsama ki nuba tsama ki pung nyamrupche nganzo tapshe khande du tablang khande du dede samne soso gekap di tsu lengo re rawa ani nganzo chuzo bola ta me khari ka tu mamche ha kugi ru kera nga keche sheda chira pele lenda chichi shigi bora me khari ka tu shegi rawa nga tanda kale khagi da tsangma doya di tanda di chuzo samsap chen tu gi koranzu ki shokpa matu kruche lo chuma de zula. Please allow them to dream. All your kids, all the young people, let them dream, let them imagine. Allow them to have big dreams and support them. Be the wind beneath their wings. Do not clip their wings. Manzola tengyu people gogi yorda. Manzo semgam rikpa chinge gogi yore, tema rikpa chinge gogi yore. Khani chukmu o mane pe melan digmare. Nambe chue gog tsogi na. Semgam rikpa che gore the katsa tema rikpa. Manzo tema rikpa lana innovation, the creative rate. Innovation zero da manzo thanda. Cycle chi soyo marda manzo. Gyami ki cycle namla periya soya. Manzo thanda e khamba da uchang da amdo da ani lobsa singhe da pemba sitting lane gokhote. Gokhoria yo marda gyamusho de gangla me. Manzo chikti chegorda. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you after the film. So I come here, I stand in front of you as a very, very proud Tibetan, proud Pema. And I'm happy and I'm emotional and I'm humbled and I'm grateful to present to you my life's hardest work. I have sacrificed everything to do this. But I'm so glad that the movie is swaying. The movie is keran to tama che to sway da. Tama che. Kamba amdo utang. Tama che to. Ramse umelam tama che to da. Mala magange phabaji yene. Khora che to sway. Yes. Okay. So on behalf of my
qui doit, voilà, merci. En anglais, c'est possible.
Thank you so much. Kadinche, Tujiche. Merci beaucoup. Okay, so I don't want to waste time. We have some time for Q&As. Can I ask you what you like here? The longing and the dewa ita tiwa. Okay? Yeah, tiwa the longing and the dewa make you the damidan mare. Longing the dum the ani lega di kola the khare kola ine. Any questions you have regarding the production, the filmmaking? Whatever you guys want. 아주 배배쳐서 이 얌전히 지었다. 시에 와서 더 뒤에 와서 지금 말. 갸블라 망골래. 다 가래 라야 이는 늘 라르죠. Hello. Yeah. There's a mic. I can't see. Mic. One of the low they told me I can't see you guys because of the bright light on my face.
정로에 제시래 아니 아마 시빌 게지 지에 좋스라 더 롱이 따니라 아니 롱이 빼야도 말인 소이 제시래 아니 그래 다나가디 주식한 좋다 이규다 아니 다 코란소다 마징이라 아니 코란소도 배배기 주식한 좋라다 마미라 라디나라 닝이기 망고 콘서초기 파티 party mabu Thomas Rawadi Karina and Jikshini Mabushidamidu.
All right, good question. By the way, this is Rinso. Those who don't know, she's a very, very talented artist herself, ex-TIPA, Tibetan Institute of Performing Arts. She lives in Paris. So those of you who don't know, Kiranzuki Moshe Gore, Morape, talented artist, music, Tabia, Tamachishu 안저기 말한서 베베지서 보라 소소소소기 미리 소소기 미 다후 갭신 거다 믹세기 규텔 여러와 규텔라 통제하다 규텔라 규세싱에디 아티스팅에디 지소기 겐제 you know artists are the jewels and they are the ornaments of a society so it's very important to support and respect artists so her question was her question was the film Chuchikamruk, the Four Rivers, Six Ranges. We saw the warriors, we saw how come, why is it that His Holiness's part was very small? You know, like in terms of the screen time or the role. Good question, but I'll answer this very quickly. Because His Holiness does not need any more introduction. His story does not need any more, you know, what do you call it? Staging. His Holiness is Avalokiteshvara, is the Buddha of compassion. There has been multiple movies just on him. All the way from the great Martin Scorsese's Kundun. Remember Kundun? Yes. The entire film was about His Holiness. 7 years in Tibet, the entire film is on His Holiness. This film is also on His Holiness. Psychologically and philosophically and spiritually, it is about His Holiness. All these warriors, all these warriors that formed in 1958, their main goal, their mission, was to protect His Holiness, protect the Buddha Dharma, and protect the country. So the whole story is about him. But I personally think that it is about time we start respecting and honoring our heroes. Manzoki pao dunzula tong te waya da kushap te waya ditta pe masi chithare te renda chale. The longe di Quran so gangla dedicate. This is my love letter to these incredible warriors, and because of them, Koranzo, Chushiganu Mangmiche, Konsochoki Kusum Kona Nambache, the Tangma Rubne, Konso Tangma Kichene, Three Konsocho Manzo Zamboling Right. We have His Holiness the Dalai Lama even today, and His Holiness is revered and loved all over the world. He is one of the most important human beings to ever walk this earth. But his existence and his safeguarding became possible because of these amazing warriors. So, similarly, I'll tell you something very interesting. I don't know if it'll make sense to you, but this is how I think in life. Does everybody love spring here? You know what spring, how do you say spring in French? Autumn?
Printemps.
Okay, so when, you know, meto shardigala, when it's green and flowers, everybody likes? Okay. And then there is a season called monsoon, right? Rainfall. Chaba mango gildigala, mi mangche chaba gagimidwa, chaba chasimidwa. So, especially nanjo nangba ina, the meto shargi autumn, the spring la nanjo ki tsewa chichigiorwa. Respect the love chichigiorwa. Oh, di dogu chaba la chishingu. The chaba di mena, meto di shariwa. So nanjo la meto gona, chaba di chichigiorwa. All right, thank you. Anybody else?
Hello. Someone this there, I'm going to delay. Number the cushion now with Tony and the Shabella standing ovations now on our street. I'm a cushion out of 아니 저기다 그림 첫 번째 대형도 좀 말하나 손랑이 가르쳐서스라나 근데 디불아 포커스 디스페체 근데 주시는 분이 마음이 기타 전도다 그런 수업이 비통지 대미 마음이가 갑자기 포커스 되더라 소스와 대인데 이제 그건 제어와 이 매니저한테 아니 근데 지금 테스트 미스지죠 가르쳐서라나 다다 Nema tak to bring up from our thing ye dollar chick. When Namola Nami Mango the shoot share wa. Tanda Kunga Nami test destination of the Shigan Nami Mangoji people are chick that not to mirror Chobare, Session Kusha Tanjudi, do. That young chick budget and the Jiggy young picture test Rindu Juguna. The dish around some dress shows Pujana.
Sama botsa sat Kurangila nata lunge di bola tange ki deshe chikawade nge ki deba jiorwa nge ji laga inja yan melik shamba doa te di samlo tangor kom sambar ba. So I'll speak in English so that everybody understands. I'm so sorry I don't speak French. I really wish I could speak French. I would love to, speak French. But his question was, the story was more focused on, one family and then just a general kind of story. And there's been so many other stories and other families and so many sacrifices. How come they're not there, right? I mean, it's a good question. Firstly, I'll tell you what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a very big movie for River Six Winds. I wanted it to be very big. Big as in I wanted to have at least 500 warriors. I wanted to have 500 horses, right? I wanted to have amazing assistants. I wanted to have an incredible producer who does everything, right? But I didn't have a lot of these things. And then budget was a big problem. Now I will put it in context for you. We just talked about Kundun. Martin Scorsese is my movies, he's like my mentor. He's the reason why I became a filmmaker. He's my greatest inspiration. Martin Scorsese lana. The long egi tawel lama na inda ya sangi ne kono tene kon tawel lama to ne baarish lageda ya bhai lageda yam mo sumta right. So when Martin Scorsese made Kundun, right, almost 30 years ago, that film was made for $30 million. 30 years ago. Saya sumchu $1 la lo sumchu ngela suri. There was nobody famous in that movie. No famous actors. All first-time Tibetans. Right? But still, the production cost $30 million. Around the same time, another very famous film came out called 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt. That movie was made for $70 million. Saya tunju $1 lo sumchu ngela. Champagne Kimsargi, Chujikandu movie di, Mido Mistaksum Zapshi Tsengan Suri. Saya Chike Yomanimala. Clap. Yeah. So, I did not have even $1 million. Okay? I didn't have professional actors. I didn't have a lot of professional departments. My production design team was all my assistants, people that I trained. My ADs, my immediate assistant directors, they had never done a project this big. because we all come from independent filmmaking, so our budget and everything's small. We're usually 5 people, 10 people. So a lot of work had to be done to make this film. And this film was made, the only reason this film got made was because I desperately wanted to make this film at any cost. And I was willing to sacrifice whatever it took. So the film was made at 15,000 feet above sea level in the Himalayas, 15,000 plus. The film was made in Mustang, which is in Nepal. And in Nepal, even though we Nepalis and Tibetans, we're neighbors, we're like, we're like friends, we're like brothers in many ways. We have a lot of cultural exchange throughout history. I love Nepali people. I speak Nepali fluently. I have a lot of Nepali friends. I go to Nepal. Beautiful culture. But the Nepali government succumbs to the Chinese government, the Nepali government. And I also understand why. But nevertheless, they kowtow to the Chinese government. So in Nepal, you're not even allowed to celebrate His Holiness's birthday. Is that right? Or am I making it up? That's true. You cannot have any sort of protest that is anti-China. That is the very reason why I decided to shoot the film right there. Now we did it, yeah. Logo chimbu legar wa, but the logo chimbu legar chichere. Ine logo chimbu lade galang anjo peba bole ya kono mamute leba jamu sigio mardani. Logo nyamdo leba jenda nyamnyong nuba ani network mi dewa mambo chi chage mambo chi chango yori ani chashi tego strategy. So ngegi lo mambu thadik chede di khandes jo gorlan chik dinga Nepali ke yamushin gerwa ta phayu shungla ngegi kopto yor because nganzo ki 4 rivers 6 ranges. So when you shoot in Nepal you need permit from the Nepal government, home ministry and the film board, and then there's other permits. So if I submitted 4 rivers 6 ranges or anything to do with the Dalai Lama or anything to do with the warriors, this film will never be allowed to shoot in Nepal. So I wrote a fake script called the Himalayan Robin Hood. How many people understand Nepali Hindi here? So I wrote a script called Pahadi Yodha. Yodha and a warrior. So Robin Hood was one of the easiest things I could think of, Everybody knows the story. So I wrote 96 pages. And I submitted that for permit. So the entire making of this film was a covert operation with 300 people, right? And I had to make sure that everybody is safe, everybody is secure. So I had to face a lot of problems that people have no idea every single day. A director's job in the film world is actually only focusing on creatives, just to direct. A director's job is to only talk to his actors and his cinematographer, his cameraman. That's it. Everything that the director needs, somebody else has to get it for him. But in this case, I had to do everything because we don't have an industry, we don't have that kind of support system. We're all first-timers. All my actors are first-timers, right? So a film like this should have cost at least 10 million or 5 million, let's say $5 to $10 million today, at least, to make a film like this. And it would have taken at least 45 to 75 days, at least, to shoot a film like this. My dear brothers and sisters, I shot this film in record time, 19 days. So, long story short, you said there were some things missing. There was not some things missing. There's a lot of things missing. Many. So, if there is anybody with deep pockets here, one thing I've been saying, last time I was in Paris when I gave talk to the college students, There was a kind gentleman who stood up. Is he here? He wanted to donate. Shambela nganzu tak chitu mindu nganzu shambela gyapyo chiala shendepji. Tak nganzu ki normal dorwa. Bebe chizo. Na chizo gywa tangore lange chane. Chizo yage tangore lange. Nge ki shendep mogol. Ti borsho marda. Shendep duya ki culture di nge na ki kedi gan chunju gan tons. Shendep kengal changa shendep ra. Nama changa ki shendep longmedu, chokpa changma ki shendep longmedu, sane changma ki shendep longmedu, she tange ki shendep longmedu, chabye ki shendep longmedu. La kare chine shendep resha. Ani nganzo ticket chungya di table New York la ina Jackson Heights table shane thanda e ngitong isenga la table di ticket di inde reya di thanda e phagala ngitong isenga da nganzo chizo yake dro nge khar lagi resne yake dro yo mare sigi da di phoya ke marda ma chizo ne thari ko choi yo man chizo semsa chine chizo bula yo ne lagi nganzo yake tang lo lagi nyamdo mara ine nimak takpa yake tang so ta dela shendep thagi khos nge ki khase ki shendep inde lagi to mala kuch mala shendep mogo rwa di lagi to la yang ape youtube yo lagi marda ko porse so du lagi daba ya di marda kiranz bone shendep sabla ari dollar saya yo khare dela euro saya chik le gamla kiranz ukla mu yo ne invest chigi na nge next long e bola invest mu logi na manzo ke che ta wone ani ngala me mango ki inde lagi du ta nganzo pheba chizo ki samlo tang lagi ta nge pe microscopically samlo tang yake tang or lagi ti borshe ke marta nganzo namzo jine shege da mafo a na kuchi ro ngala me mango ke inde lagi shemela nganzo kira gyapyo chigale I find it very funny 장고 shena gyapyo chiga ngale de samala samlo tang 짜들라 겹교 초발라 지졸라 미릭라 초가숨라 독사직지 쳐야기 겹교 디참마 겹교라 계란쪽에 단다 용야 디 계란쪽에 랭게 디 겹교 맞다 뭐야 so next long lata liungi bach sogore liusumba sogore so when I make the chapter 2 I cannot make it with the same condition and the same amount of money and the same, I cannot. Now, next one has to be at least, $5-10 million, or else I cannot. I spent 13 years of my life, in this film. I have not gotten paid one single dollar or rupee. Ngui madang kange mango chene ngui madang ne ngara singi chonda. Kenat mango ki news la thong interview din zara. City ara tong ya da party tang yang chong ya marta phe ki kang yo se chu de ngi city chong ne long ne di cha che so yes ani ta ma chu mare shamba swinge de ba yong de ing yong ne suroche kuchi we have to make more films we have to tell our stories ngaranjo soso ke dum di ngaranjo soso she ba pe masikechu we have to take control of our narrative. The Chinese are very consistent with their narrative, right? We don't agree with them, but they are very consistent. They've been saying that Tibet belongs to China, and now they've changed the name from Tibet to Xizang. Really, Xizang 수여자라봐. 혼자 소소 제거해야지 지게도 와. 만족 갈지요. 만족 뭘 진대. 간다요. 만족 갑대 제거를 개미라. simple 제거 말해. See, it's very simple philosophy. If I'm a country, for example, we're Tibet. If you come and conquer my country, you invade my country, you kill my people, you ransack my country, you pillage my country, right? You ruin the culture, you change the name, you demonize our Lama. You demonize His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You destroy the natural resources of Tibet. 10 rivers that flow from Tibet into Southeast Asia. 2.5 billion people, 2.5 billion people depend on the water that comes from Tibetan Himalayan glaciers. That water is all controlled by China. They've built over 30,000 dams. Every single one of you carrying cell phones here, mobile phones, there's a thing called lithium battery. 70-80% of the battery comes from Tibet. So when the Chinese have taken everything from me, my country, why the hell should I be afraid of them? They should be afraid of me because they are wrong and I'm right. So we are on the right side, so we should not be afraid to say Tibet belongs to Tibetans. That's it. And you know, sadly, Manzo culture la thagi laso Shendep ki culture shukche boche, pele thabya ki culture pe shukche bochayo, pele pha pele su pele genge thab, pele thab ne Manzo dine sweklu yo ma thanda bado, di swek renda chher da di, di phe ki dubar da, kham ki dum chuk mar da di, amdo ki dum chuk mare uchang mar, phe ki dubar di, di Manzo swek renda chher. 뽑아토네 쓰고래. 뽑아토네 콘솔 귀샵 제거해야 돼. 난쪽에 제일 따줘야 돼. 뽑아토네. 난쪽 성로 땅다 교와 땅 거다. 나라 가서 나 이티스케다 쳔보체 나 야포 치드가 간다 창만 갈라 모싱에다 가봉이 뭐 여러 봐. 안줄 롱바 찍바 파이 찍바 창막이 빼 가게 말라. 초치. 인데 지야 요 말에. 네 잡라 단다 파이 셴바지기 이나다. 네 잡라 미리 가자 암도 이나래 우창 이나래 카파 수 이나래다 네 잡라 내가 되대치나 창막이 겹쳐지고 들라 나 다질링 게로 난저 다질링 미창막 엑스트라 가기요 단다 먼저 다질링 그래 이제 그런 야보래 얘네 통계 춘준 통계 첨부 말해도 네 아빠 혼자 게만 미토 망고네 미냐래 제라 주모로 발래 딱 먼저 주모디즈 가대 말았다 먼저 주모지 봐 내 초록 벽을 저 벽보디즈 가대 벽바 참막 가고 그래 벽바 참막이 겹쳐지고 그래 노티요나 소소기 보고 있네다 소소기 아마 있네 아마 지난 노티다 라고래 아마 렐라니 겹쳐지야 요 말에 미셔발라 답이야 요 말에 디 남초에게도 딱딱 되기요 말에 대기업 말다 디카나 samlo 땅나 얘기가 나 벽에 야부시라 매 벽에 걔네 로추 추추나스 추고 도스탄다 장신바이 로아 인지게다 된데 망도 걔들아 땅에 단다 얘기 next long age 저기 my next film not the chapter 2 will take a few more years but immediately right now I'm making the first Tibetan vampire movie Bahamo the Dumokola so 이 드럼디 좀 아주 쉬어요. 근데 남초에 가면 시샤다. 또 드럼디 불라 얘기 dialogue 지어요. 인지게라. 또 인지게 dialogue 얘기 you know I've written a dialogue in English for the next film. And this is my philosophy in life. In English it says the trajectory of your life and your energy is determined by the quality of your intent. 디 라마 토파 쳔부치기 바모딜라 last 뚜디가 보디 dialogue 디셰기 다 베게라라나 계란기 메지다 계란기 누덕지 여러봐 네 계란기 꿀웅기 규다다 규자가라 라레기 레시기래 저 꿀웅 자마키나 창마라 냠도 팀 창마 직관 이상 아주 배바 창마 직관 배 통계 전부 포기하는 땡사고 수칸 게도 자마 okay all right any other questions And in the meantime, while she gets the mic, I don't need donations, but we have T-shirts. I made it with a lot of love. You see this T-shirt? I have not too much. I have a box and a half only. So if you want, please buy those T-shirts. T-shirt not T-shirt jibo chembore keep to me.
What I was wondering was in the middle of the movie, we can see that the little sister wanted to join the army with her brother, and she was like declined. So I wanted to know if in real life in Jujigondo there was any female warriors, or like what was the roles of the Tibetan women. 아니 베개전은 가람 디모지 기만나 빙겨충아 부모들이 나 교수님들 마지막 일을 도와 아니 어디다 주저기려나 결혼 보다다 보다다 결혼될 계신구요래 계신구신데 오래 송소아 아니 주시고도 위생원에 나라 부모들이 다 랭게 라오래 부모 마지막에 도다 안데도 요래는 게 제일 좋습니다.
What is your name?
대경.
Begum, I remember you. You asked the question last time too in Inalco, right? Yeah. Very intelligent, very smart. Good girl. Good question. So she asked, in the film, Kunga Samten's sister, cousin basically, Amo. When they're departing for the last time, she says, I want to go with you too. I want to fight alongside our brave men. Remember that scene? She says that. So that scene is actually not in the book. It was not set exactly like that. But there is a huge contribution of Tibetan women in this. Can you imagine the sacrifice and the courage and the bravado of the Tibetan women? If they were not strong, they're very strong. So there was a lot of fights actually too. If you do research, there was a lot of fights that women fought too. There was. So me putting that line there was my way of respecting and honoring the Tibetan women. Yeah. So the contribution is there. But again, it boils down to money. So if you have a lot of money, then you can make an entire web series, right? Season 1, Season 2, each season has 10 episodes. We don't have that yet. So can I ngui mango yonge chongba yonge de yona ngala chukula mata longe seme peba shamba ina longe chembo sela kran ngui de lunga longe yakbo seno ngui chu ragre ngui chu mare pe de lega di pe ta ngajo shitsane degerdi pe ai nge deshe caption mi do ta di khagamski spiritual relane nge longe di soe de ngana la chöda nge longe di nge ama thundal soe mare nge apa thundal soe mare nge thundal khamba thunda amka thagila so nge 먼저 개컵 든다서요. 먼저 메릭 든다서요. 상마 든다. So for me, this is the most spiritual path. And it's sosoki. There is a saying in English. There is nothing more spiritual than sharing your knowledge and your experience. 소속이 냠녀다 소속이 윤데 아니 중나 소속이 쉐랍데 이셰디 마 지졸 상마를 땅투 셰치투나 딜라 쳬요 말에. Okay? All right, so I think we're almost done. One last question. Okay, I'll let you ask too after her.
Hello,
Last
My name is Yang Zong. Today I'm Yang Zong. Nga thaling Yang Dong de chishi kandu mangko konyo thaling Yang Dong de denge gyu ni mangko jara tuje lang cutting chase den shije gi thammo. Ani jiwa zo dinanglola ani nga lo pham gwa cheshe di nga kemo tangana zo gomba ki kemo di ani ta chawa mangbo chongde samala sem pham chungni ma jing rangjing ta thabe kene ne ma jing re and jene khonsho ge tangana zo la khe tangana zo ge yongse rim da kyami mang thane ani ta khonsho ge ani ngaran so chenje la phere ke tuta ngaran zo khonsho thege shutu din sangma nang thu ne thande kemo rangjang ma jinga 딩아 셈파버숑스라 케시케모 마페바이나 갸갈라 슈와 콘쇼기 마기 냠뇽 제미 냠도 미마 냠도기 냠뇽 체최두 베케보기 냠뇽 딘수 강가기 냠도 키와나 아니 나랑수 갸갈이 치소라기 모네기야 페바기 마싱에서라 페용부 타고레 쌈나 what is tense
양섬라
라오
잉제 양섬 샷사 no I'm saying Inje to her innocence. There's a lot of naivety, which is beautiful. So I'll tell you, thank you for expressing this. It's very beautiful. Ideally, that's how everything should have been. Ideally. But my dear, reality and human life is not like that. You know, आपको दिन पसंद है तो रात से गुजरना ही पड़ेगा. So ये घर लगी उसना खेपो तो ये मूवी बोला खेपो चिकते हैं रवा शुशी रानुमांग में बोला if you do research majority of them were all monks and they were farmers, merchants, traders. Majority of them तंग ये खेपो चिकते हैं रे कुरान की छाप चेने ता. So now it's for me there is nothing more Buddhist than that. 건수조 단다 키랑 길러도 건수조 빼다 차수 만주 잠불리라 제가 라기요래와 최라기요래 질라라기요와 얘네 건수조로 도나지기요로 기란서 건수조기 술 디발라 수 나고 경에 미에 도나쟁여 구수 bodyguards. Why do you think those bodyguards are there? For violence? They are there to defend any violence. Violence chena deki sungyap che chitore. So even His Holiness needs strong people, tough people, brave people who can fight if that happened. So I will tell you my personal experience. I am absolutely for non-violence. I don't believe in violence. But if somebody comes to my house, right? If somebody comes, I am a non-violent person. But if somebody comes to my house and destroys my house and kills my father and tries to rape my mother and my sisters, you know what is the most Buddhist thing to do at that time? To kill them. Yes, and that's exactly what I would do. Either you kill them or you are going to be dead. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, there is a saying in English. You want peace? Everybody wants peace, right? If you want peace, you have to be prepared for war. Yeah. Okay.
아니 마랑이야 지원이라 아니 시빌레기 당부 대표다 당부 지원이 가르치잖아. 그래서 도전이 가지 위장이 가지 그 암도니 가지 내가 지금 아셈블라 비 하라심나다 참아 그래서 마직도 아니 앙자디 가로 주통라 심나로 밤피슈라 unfortunately 마랑 캄바지니라 이네 마랑 드링 델레디 마 캄바지니 레미 그러나 배바가지 history가 대블로디 주시강도디 you cannot avoid 주시강도가 되는 그런 리드라 호칭이 레이라이 마랑 캄바지니 델레 메는 슈에나 에시벨라기 무비 인더스트리 단다데라 가리소나 존스나 아니 배바사가 정말 로우디즈 데샤치라 항상 이 브라우케스라 수수인의 모티베이션 샘슈 친구들에서 나랑 고이나다 제가 인스타그램 다들 빼고유라 비디오 세컨 숨주질 수에 빼갈래들어 Kiri, you do the 항상 I mean, sorry, movie. I'm so nervous.
No, it's okay. Don't be nervous.
Thank you so much from my yellow heart. Zaman Roma. Okay. Jadi karena senar kirangi tanda lagi di pengen judu tujuh ce ini semsuk macam lo macam soe semsuk macam medile mendu di tiga puluh mendu it's been a very lonely journey for me. I've been an activist for 30 years. Most of it is very journey. Making this film was a very lonely journey for me.
When I started, every single person discouraged me. Every single person said, either they said, don't touch this subject, or they said, you cannot make this film. Then how are you going to make this film? You know? na chuput. Ini nga sim chukchai. Ye sere, ini ngala magange tundala sere. Lasa tagi. Nginji lana odirta.
Last question, just so my question is about sharing our own side of the story, and I agree with you that we should be able to, spread our point of view and Tibetan experience about this. But contrary to other famous movies who are on platforms like Netflix and all, how do we share this movie outside of the Tibetan community?
Beautiful. What's your name?
Tenzi Doma.
Tenzi Doma. What a nice question. Thank you for asking this question. You guys want to help? Everybody go to Netflix or Amazon.com and email them and tell them about this movie and say we would like to see this movie on your platform. That's it. 그래서 참마 굳이 먼저 필리핀다래 처음 치러지야 로 출룩다 초가다 뒤쪽으로 마다 그래서 자라다 구찌다 프라다다 루이비통 그나 이제 상도다야 요 말다 치료는 주고 sabjek야 요 말이 불 sabjek야 보다 불야 한다 오케이 와야 구찌
엑셀 주문이 엑셀. Songa means Songa origin. Lao. Excel吧。Excel 记不记了？这个。哦，对。回去了。回动体了。要不回动体？哦，let's push it now. T-shirt, the poster, also. Now the movies are still all the same. Okay, guys. Bye.